evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Saturday, December 31, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines this evening, we will reduce poverty, expand the middle class, says President Ali. Government inks Euro 160 million loan agreement with Bank of China for construction of new Demerara Harbor Bridge. Over 1,000 to benefit from part-time jobs on East Coast Demerara. East Coast Demerara fisherman housewife arrested with cocaine, ganja, and more than one-third of Region 6 budget used up in salaries. Now for the news in detail. Cognizant of the percentage of people still living in poverty in Guyana, President Dr. Irfan Ali has reassured that his government is committed to not only reducing poverty, but also expanding the middle class. Gerald Bryan has more in our lead story tonight.
President Dr. Irfan Ali gave these assurances during an interview with international news agency Al Jazeera, which is presently in Guyana. Asked by the interviewer if he was looking to make a dent in the poverty statistics, the president noted that he's looking to do this and more.
One of the important things that we must do is to improve disposable income at every household, to give people access to basic facilities, water, electricity, food, and those things we have put in place. We understand what it takes to manage a country without resources. So we more than understand the responsibility that comes with managing a country with resource, with this opportunity to transform the lives of every single person. Not only will we put a dent in that, a significant dent into that, but we are creating and moving in a direction in which more people will move to a position in which not only basic poverty level is addressed, but the issue of empowerment, disposable income is addressed to the extent that more persons will be graduating to the middle class.
He also pointed out that they are already making progress in improving disposable income, referring to recent advances in reducing gender gaps.
I'm saying to you, look at the latest report, the gender gap report that came out last year. You will see the magnificent improvement of Guyana. We move, I think, we've improved by more than 35 places or more, the gender gap report.
In the Global Gender Gap Report 2022, Guyana was ranked 35th in the world and 2nd in the Caribbean. According to the report, Guyanese men and women have near equal access to financial services, land and non-land assets. 3 years after oil production began, Guyana is currently the fastest growing economy in the world. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
The Guyana government on Friday signed a loan agreement with the Bank of China for 160.8 million euros to be injected into the construction of the new Demerara River Bridge. Details in this Rupasinaran report.
Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh signed the loan agreement electronically with the Bank of China. Dr. Singh explained to the Evening News that this loan will finance the majority of the cost to advance the bridge construction. He also indicated that the Guyana government will put the remaining funding to complete the critical infrastructure. Already, some $21.1 billion in the 2022 budget has been allocated towards work on the bridge. Back in May of this year, the government signed the $260 million contract for the major new bridge as part of its plan to expand and modernize Guyana's transport infrastructure and significantly reduce the traffic woes on the east bank of Demerara. The project, which has been long in the making by the PPPC administration, was awarded to the joint venture of China Railway Construction Corporation International Limited, China Railway Construction Caribbean Limited, and China Railway Construction Bridge Engineering Bureau Group. The hybrid-designed bridge will be a high-rise structure, thus allowing for the free flow of traffic continuously. It will also feature a modern 4-lane structure, cycle lane with a 2.65 kilometers length, driving surface of about 23.6 meters or 77.8 feet, and will have a lifespan of some 100 years. The construction of the new bridge across the Demerara River is expected to last for some years upon the commencement of works. The current Demerara Harbor Bridge is over 40 years old and has outlived its lifespan. Currently, it facilitates an estimated 40,000 to 45,000 persons and over 20,000 vehicles traversing each day.
Here is Rupasina once more telling us in this report that over 1,000 residents along the east coast of Demerara are set to benefit from employment in government's part-time jobs initiative after the contracts were signed on Friday at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. Let's have a look.
Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo in his address at the event highlighted that as development moves across the regions, job opportunities will decentralize. He highlighted that the new road networks, housing schemes, hotels, and other businesses will foster such employment openings for the East Coast. Jagdeo pointed to the fact that despite its close proximity to Georgetown, a number of persons were unemployed, especially women.
There are lots of plans for the East Coast and lots of opportunities. As we get better infrastructure on the East Coast, the business will start migrating out because the cost of land in the city is very high. So the job opportunities would flow closer to the communities themselves. We had never intended very much to start a program here because of the proximity to the job market, which is very competitive in Region 4. But when we spoke with people, a number of people still were unemployed in the region, and mainly women.
According to the Vice President, there are a plethora of opportunities offered by government which can be utilized to further qualify or upskill persons in communities. However, these individuals need to accept and take advantage of such.
We want positive people who can see the future as major and that would use every chance to improve themselves and their families. And that's why I've seen the scholarship programs that we have. So few people apply, and they can apply even if they've not completed school. They have a remedial program that they can use to then access either technical level training or an academic level training.
Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, East Coast Demerara fisherman housewife arrested with cocaine ganja. Please stay tuned.
With unlimited games to choose from, you can be a winner with Superbet. Choose from our virtual sports, live betting, sports betting, live roulette, and much more. Place your bets at www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 and over. Play responsibly.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
The Government of India is pleased to announce today that His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, will be the chief guest at the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention.
The Government of India has been holding the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas (PBD) convention every year in the month of January to recognize the contribution of Indian diaspora in the growth and development of India. The occasion is also a time for the PIOs to find and connect to their roots in the land of their forefathers. The forthcoming 17th PBD convention is being held in the city of Indore in the state of Madhya Pradesh in India from the 8th to the 10th of January 2023. All members of Indian diaspora Demerara are requested to visit the website. Special discounts are available for a group of 10 persons or more. For group discount, please register as a group on the website. High Commission of India may be contacted for further queries, if any, by email or phone.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. Police ranks on mobile patrol Friday evening along the east coast of Demerara arrested a fisherman from Good Hope and a housewife from Enmore for possession of narcotics. According to the Guyana Police Force, the ranks were in Phase 2, Good Hope, East Coast Demerara, around 1945 hours when they observed a male and female standing at a corner road acting in a suspicious manner. The two persons were approached and a search was carried out on the male, a 34-year-old fisherman of Phase 2, Good Hope. A transparent Ziploc plastic bag containing a whitish rock-like substance, suspected to be cocaine, was found on the ground right beside him. He was then arrested and escorted to the Vigilance Police Station, where the suspected cocaine was weighed in his presence and amounted to 0.5 grams. The female, a 30-year-old housewife of Fowlis Enmore, was also arrested. A search was conducted on her person and a plastic bag with several small transparent Ziploc bags containing a whitish rock-like substance suspected to be cocaine, as well as 3 transparent Ziploc bags containing leaves, seeds, and stems suspected to be cannabis sativa were found. The suspected narcotics were weighed in her presence, which amounted to 9 grams of cannabis and 5.3 grams of cocaine. Both suspects were placed into custody pending charges. As the year 2022 comes to an end, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union GAU has bemoaned what it described as an underwhelming performance in the country's sugar industry. Here is Davina Samaru with the details.
In a statement to the media on Friday, the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union GAU said it remains disappointed and disturbed by the industry's production of just 47,011 tons of sugar, 17,878 tons short of its target. According to statistics released by the union, the Albion Sugar Estate fell short of its 30,961 tons target by over 5,000, recording just 25,834 tons. At Blairmont Estate, 15,097 tons were recorded when the target was 20,262 tons, a difference of 5,165, while at Iflot, the target was 13,666, but only 6,080 was recorded, a difference of 7,586. The union also lamented that the Guyana Sugar Corporation GAISUCO has justified its performance on account of the weather and workers. It explained that the sugar company said that the 2021 floods, which particularly affected the Albion Estate, was one of the causes of its low output. But GAU argued that inasmuch as that justification may seem acceptable, the industry said it assessed all its canes prior to the commencement of production. GAU noted too that it went on to reason that the canes which sustained damages during the floods were also assessed. In this regard, GAU contended that, as has become the norm, GAISUCO sought to blame the workers for its production woes. Describing this as a worn-out excuse, GAU pointed out that GAISUCO, at several times during the year, praised its workers' efforts in enabling the realization of sugar targets. Against this backdrop, GAU argued that, and I quote, "How can the workers be bad on one occasion and good in another? It speaks to the state of confusion that the corporation currently finds itself. While workers are scapegoated, the industry harvested nearly all its canes, except for a small amount at Albion, after the rains brought the crop to an end." End quote. Nevertheless, the union said it understands that the industry hopes to produce 100,000 tons of sugar by 2025, and noted that it believes this target is achievable and can even be surpassed. GAU, however, contended that important to such feats are a committed workforce and a capable management.
We now tell you that the Director of Public Prosecutions Chambers have disposed of 25 of the 307 cases that were listed to be heard during the October criminal Assises in Demerara, which commenced on October 4, 2022 at the High Court in Georgetown. More in this Lawanda McAllister report.
Of the 25 matters disposed of, 21 were presented in the Demerara High Court, of which 7 were for the capital offense of murder, 13 for sexual offenses, and a manslaughter case. The remaining 4 were not prosecuted by the DPP chambers. Nevertheless, the cases heard resulted in 6 convictions, 8 guilty pleas, 3 not guilty verdicts by jury, 3 formal verdicts of not guilty, and 1 hung jury. Of the 6 murders, the accused in 2 cases were acquitted by jury verdicts of not guilty. In another 2, the trial judge upheld no case submissions and directed the juries to return formal verdicts of not guilty. Then in another case, the accused pleaded guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter and was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. In the other 2 murder cases, the accused also pleaded guilty to the lesser offense of manslaughter in both and were sentenced respectively to 8 and 6 years imprisonment. Then, another accused was found guilty of the lesser offense of manslaughter by the jury verdict and was sentenced to 30 years imprisonment. As it relates to the 13 cases heard in the sexual offense court, the accused in 5 of these all pleaded guilty as charged. In another 5, the juries returned guilty verdicts for each accused. Meanwhile, the 3 other cases saw 1 accused being acquitted by jury verdict, while 1 other accused will face a retrial because his jury was unable to reach a verdict, and in the 3rd matter, the victim testified that she did not wish to give evidence, and as such, the judge directed the jury to return a formal verdict of not guilty. Of the 4 matters not tried by the DPP, 2 were for sexual offenses in which the victims did not want to pursue the matter. The 2 others were for the offense of manslaughter, whereby in one, the accused was deemed unfit to stand trial, while in the other, the witnesses could not be located. The Demerara January 2023 criminal Assises will open on Tuesday, January 10th, 2023, with 307 cases listed to be heard. Lawanda McAllister, The Evening News.
More than a third of the 2022 budgetary allocation for the Region 6 Regional Democratic Council went to pay salaries. The East Berbice Quarantine region was allocated $10.7 billion for 2022 and paid in excess of $3 billion in salaries. In this report, our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael takes a look at how the regional administration spent the money under its current work program.
$962.5 million the region spent on its capital work program and $9.8 billion under its current work program. The funds were distributed on the 5 program heads: administration, public works, agriculture, health, and education. Developmental work like roads and schools falls under the capital work program, whereas the current work program caters for recurring expenses.
The current budget is basically repairs and maintenance and the buying of field materials. In other words, is usable stuff that we use all the time to ensure that we keep the system going. And so lots of money would have been spent under the current system. Of course, a substantial amount of that would have gone in wages and salaries.
$70.2 million was soaked up for salaries under the administration and a further $111.1 million under agriculture. The region paid $57 million in wages and salaries under public works. Of the $10.7 billion the region was allocated for the year, some $3.4 billion went to salaries under the education sector and $764 million for salaries under the health sector.
As you know, too, our government has increased wages and salaries by 8% this year, and so we had to go back and pay the retroactive money from January up to December. All those monies have already been paid out. So wages and salaries account for substantial amount of money that is used.
Meanwhile, salaries for the 4,000 persons employed on the government's 10-day $40,000 part-time employment program came from the local government ministry and not from the region's budget. Andrew Carmichael for Evening News.
We'll now take a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Sunday, January 1st, 2023 at 1 hour for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is expected to close at 12 hours 25 on Sunday, January 1st, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
And now the local stock exchange market compliments of GASI. First ever National U13 Football League kicks off. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
The Government of India is pleased to announce today that His Excellency Dr. Mohammad Irfan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, will be the chief guest at the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention.
The Government of India has been holding the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas (PBD) convention every year in the month of January to recognize the contribution of Indian diaspora in the growth and development of India. The occasion is also a time for the PIOs to find and connect to their roots in the land of their forefathers. The forthcoming 17th PBD convention is being held in the city of Indore in the state of Madhya Pradesh in India from the 8th to the 10th of January 2023. All members of Indian diaspora are requested to visit the website. Special discounts are available for a group of 10 persons or more. For group discount, please register as a group on the website. High Commission of India may be contacted for further queries, if any, by email or phone.
Hi, my name is Jayden Softly, and I'm very excited to have GTT set up this fiber cable. As you can see, I'm young, so I'll be using this Wi-Fi, this internet, to be doing my everyday browsing and searching and, you know, just my homework and assignments, playing games, watching YouTube, you know, the regular stuff. I really enjoy the service. I think it's extremely great, and you also have like the free minutes, so for that, you know, if you're in trouble, you call your parents or someone.